Yo, what is up, guys? James Buzzard for Buzz Labs. And yeah, sorry about that. I did not see that the audio wasn't working, and I didn't wear my headphones today. Typically, I am behind the camera, manning it, doing all the audio, the visuals, all the sound, everything like that, guys. But today I am in front of the camera, and yeah, I should probably pull this up so that I can kind of see what's going on here. But anyways, my name is James D. Buzzard. I am a cinematographer and a DP, and I'm from Aurora, Illinois. And I've actually been running my business now for 2 full years, and we produce content for a lot of other businesses and individuals who sell different services and products and all of that kind of stuff. So anyways, today we are here and we are talking about Vlogmas. So Vlogmas has been pretty crazy all throughout the 13 days up until now. I have a pretty busy schedule. I'm a full-time dad. I am, I own two different businesses. And so adding something like this to my schedule on certain days can be quite a lot, even if I'm trying to produce something just super short and quick. But even throughout all of that, one of the good things about Vlogmas that one of the reasons I kind of forced myself to do this was to prove to myself that I have plenty of time throughout the day to produce content for myself, which I've always struggled with throughout, having my business. So that's one of the biggest reasons that I've been doing this for myself is, one, to prove to myself that I have the time to do it, and two, to get rid of that terrible, nervousness you get about posting stuff to your own page. I'm a DP and a cinematographer, so I have this weird mentality that everything that I post online needs to be perfect and, well edited and well produced, I guess you could say. And for Vlogmas, I've literally turned that completely upside down. And I've just been producing content, getting it out to you, worrying about the message, as a lot of you guys preach here on YouTube, especially my girl Diana. So Diana, I've been just literally just worrying about the message and really not focusing on the quality. As a DP, we think of quality as, how good does the image look? How good does the sound look? How good are the graphics? How good are, we always have all of this in our head, and we always want everything to look as perfect as possible and to a certain standard. And with daily content does not correspond with high quality all the time. So you just kind of have to get over that when you are producing content for yourself, and you really just have to go create the content, learn on a day-by-day basis, and improve on a daily basis while, working on these super short timelines and, working on all sorts of other things while still trying to, grow a small YouTube channel. Or even if you're not even trying to grow a YouTube channel, just produce content to drive traffic to your own business and your own services, which is more what I'm trying to do right now. Let me double check the focus on here. I'm going to put it on manual. And we're just going to manually focus this bad boy because it is clearly not doing a good job. And there we go. So I think that's a lot better, guys. Anyways, so yeah, this whole Vlogmas has been a huge learning experience for me. A lot of the content I produce, we usually have around, 2 weeks or more sometimes to produce the content, to film the content, to have it, everything done. So we usually have some pretty long timelines. So with producing content on a daily basis like this, it's completely different. So I've been learning an absolute ton throughout this whole process. And it's been super, super fun. I haven't really been worrying about how good the audio sounds. I don't worry at all about thumbnails or anything like that. I literally just make the content, put it out, and then think of what I can do for the next day. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's completely different than my normal workflow for producing content and working on a lot of the commercial work that I do. So it's been a lot of fun. And but moving on from there, guys, I know one thing out of this whole Vlogmas that has surprised me like no other is this camera right here. And this is the Sony ZV-1, and this camera has been absolutely ridiculous. And I recently just picked up this the vlogger kit for it, and this thing is a game changer for just, you know, being able to control the camera and being able to hit the record button. I know it's only literally 4 inches away, but just the convenience of having this remote is awesome. And especially with the C1 button, so you can defocus your background. I, you know, set my custom button to defocus how it comes, you know. And yeah, it works awesome. So I totally see why Sony was selling this with the ZV-1 as a package. And yeah, I wish I would have picked it up at the time of release and saved myself a bunch of money by pre-ordering it with the grip. But I didn't do that because I thought I would like the Ulanzi grip better, and it extends with the tripod thing and everything. But this is honestly awesome, especially with the wide angle adapter. So yeah, the Sony ZV-1 has been incredible this entire Vlogmas. I've been really impressed with it. One, this thing fits into spots that my bigger cameras don't. Right now we're filming on the A7 III, and as you can see, even in the whole beginning of this live stream, the A7 III didn't pick up on my face for the autofocus. So, you know, this ZV-1, I can almost guarantee you, would have picked up on my face, no problem. It has the eye autofocus, and we wouldn't have had those issues, I guarantee you. And I even tested this right before we went live to see if that autofocus would have that problem, and it didn't. And as soon as we go live, it does. So, like I said, guys, real quick, like every camera has its flaws. It doesn't matter if you're shooting Canon, Nikon, Sony, Blackmagic, you know, an Arri Alexa. It doesn't matter what camera you are shooting on. There is a specific tool for the job. And I have an A6400, I have an A7 III, and I have a ZV-1, and there is a huge reason I'm going with the ZV-1 for this super running gun vlogging style filming, because you cannot film that way on an A6400, and you can't film that way on an A7 III. And this camera does a lot of things that my other 2 cameras absolutely cannot. So yeah, this camera has been ridiculously impressive, and the autofocus is awesome. The auto exposure settings, I always set my ISO to auto on this camera when I'm running around, because the auto ISO is really, really good. And even I got this little ceramic microphone the other day, and this thing is super nice for the size. I've never had a microphone this size that does this good with the with audio quality. So I've been super impressed with this. My last 2 vlogs were just using the ceramic mic and the ZV-1. And if you look at the quality, the overall quality of the image, I literally threw a LUT on it and put it out. So, you know, if you guys like the quality of that image, that's on a $800 camera setup, which is pretty ridiculous, considering my other 2 camera setups with a lens and everything, they're upwards of $2,000. So this camera is ridiculously impressive. If you guys are business owners, or, you know, looking to even do like family videos or anything like that, and you guys are looking for like a dedicated camera, and you don't want to upgrade to the new iPhone for a couple $1,000 or $1,000 or the newest Samsung or whatever, then I would honestly recommend getting a camera like this, because it is super nice to have a dedicated camera just for running around vlogging and stuff like that. So I've been ridiculously impressed with the ZV-1 and everything that it's been doing throughout Vlogmas. And yeah, the only reason I'm not using it right now was because I knew wanted to show it to you guys. But yeah, so it's been doing really really well throughout this entire Vlogmas. So so yeah, I'm super super impressed. Now moving on, I know we talked about a couple editing tricks. Now I'm a Premiere Pro editor, so if you guys want to see any editing tricks, I'm definitely down to show them to you guys. But the two editing tricks that we talked about throughout Vlogmas were one was to make yourselves a template. Now, if you guys haven't made a template yet for Vlogmas, then I would highly encourage you to do so, because I could literally knock out a Vlogmas edit in less than 2 hours for around a 15-minute edit, and that's like with going through the B-roll that I grabbed for the day or whatever else that I'm doing and filming and everything. So I mean, I can knock out a video pretty quick, and that's a huge reason I'm able to do that is because I make those templates, and I have everything in the template that I need. I have all the music that I typically use in my Vlogmas videos. I have all the graphics that we typically use in our videos. But yeah, so I put everything in that one template, and then every day when I need to edit a Vlogmas, all I need to do is open up that template, and I'm good to go. The other editing trick that we talked about was the eyeline trick. Now, the eyeline trick is huge, guys. So if you guys haven't been doing this, which I actually have not been doing the eyeline trick, just because I don't do a lot of those type of cuts in the professional work that I do. So when I started editing for YouTube, I wasn't even really paying attention to the eyeline thing because yeah, I was just not paying attention to it. But if you guys don't know how to do it, the best way to do it is you always have your guides usually on when you're editing in your editor. And if you guys don't know what the guides are, they're usually the hash marks that you have on your program screen in your editor that have like the 50% vertical and 50% horizontal, so you know how to center up and everything with your guys' image or with the composition of your shot. But you can actually put in extra markers or extra guides. And one of the ways that I do that is I throw in a second horizontal guide at the eye line of the stagnant shot or the original shot that I have. Now, when I make my cut and I go to punch in, all I do is match up that eye line or that eye line guide that I made in that I added to my editor. All I do is match up that eye line guide with the cut, and that's basically all that there is to it. So it's really, really simple to do. And yeah, if you guys want a tutorial on that, I can definitely do a full tutorial on how to do that. So yeah, just let me know, guys. And Be Love Inc. Yeah, thanks for being here. As always, I think you've been pretty much commenting and watching a ton of the Vlogmas so far. So thank you for checking everything out. Definitely appreciate it. But if you guys have any questions for me, I would definitely love to answer them. I am a cinematographer and a DP, so I do have a little bit of knowledge about lighting and all that kind of stuff. If you guys need help with any of that, if you guys have any questions about my Vlogmas so far, or you guys have questions relating to your Vlogmas or anything like that, I would love to answer them. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, I'll kind of hang out here for a couple minutes. We'll talk about Vlogmas a little bit more. But yeah, I think the biggest thing about Vlogmas is message over quality. So don't necessarily worry about how you're making it or what you're making it with or what camera you're using or what audio devices you're using. If all you have is your cell phone or you have a dedicated camera that you're using, use whatever you got, and don't worry about the way that it is created. Who cares what editor you're using? Who cares what, anything about that? That's not really what Vlogmas is about. Vlogmas is about, for me, it is about being consistent. It is about, so Be Love Inc. says, we are Premiere Pro users. Yes, please. Video in editing. Okay, so we only been editing videos for 2 months. Okay. So if you guys have only been editing for 2 months, yeah, I guess the way I learned editing was really honestly just through YouTube. I didn't learn I learned through YouTube and I learned through just online searches. So I really all the editing tricks that I learned are all through online learning, I guess you could say. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys have only been editing for 2 months, I've seen some of your guys' vlogs, and yeah, keep at it because you guys are definitely getting a lot of good content out. And yeah, I've been pretty impressed with your guys' vlogs and the overall the quality, the message, everything with your guys' vlogs is awesome. So yeah, keep up with your guys' work, and yeah, if you guys need any tips from me, I'm definitely willing to help you guys out. But yeah, with I know we talked a little bit about jump cuts, I guess, throughout in one of the vlogs and how to do that. But yeah, jump cuts, the three biggest things I've learned to help hide jump cuts are you have your L cuts and your J cuts, which that's when like your L cut is basically when your audio comes under your video from your next track. So you can basically, it's a lot smoother if you let your video play for basically like two to 4 frames after your audio's already coming in. That's one awesome way for you to hide jump cuts. Another way is to recompose. But if you're recomposing, remember to hide that eye line. Now, if you guys are also using Premiere Pro, another thing that you guys can use is when you guys have those audio cuts and that change in audio pitch and stuff like that, you can use something called constant power, and that's in your that's gonna be in your guys's your editor your. Why do I always forget the names of things in live streams? But that's gonna be in your effects panel, and that's gonna be it's an effect called constant power. So constant power is awesome if you guys have a lot of cuts and you guys don't want to do a lot of L and J cuts all day. If you guys need to get that content out fast, just throw a constant power on there, and the constant power is really gonna clean that up. And I'll actually show that to you guys real quick since we have a few minutes. Let me just come back here, and we will go to the desktop view, and real quick, let me just slide this audio over a little bit so you guys can hear me still. And so if you guys are in Premiere Pro, you guys, let's see, here's my Vlogmas Day 13 edit. So you guys can see in between all of these in between all of these cuts is something called a constant power. So I throw my headphones on real quick. I also want to talk to you guys about and let me also make sure the desktop audio is on for you guys. Desktop audio is on. All right, so you guys can see in between all of these cuts, I actually put a constant power, and this is just a simple transition so that if there's a change in pitch, if there's a change in the way the audio sounds, it helps hide and mask that. So here's what it would sound like without that constant power. Vlogmas. I also want to talk to you guys about and you notice that little kind of that glitch or that hesitation or that obvious cut in audio. We're just gonna throw a constant power over that now, and I'm gonna zoom in so I can edit this constant power a little bit. I'm gonna make the constant power just a little bit smaller, and now this constant power is probably only 1-2 frames long, overlapping each clip. So now when I play the clip, Vlogmas, I also want to talk to you guys about the couple that sounds a little bit smoother. Now, the best way to do this would be to use something called an L cut. I'll try to do this live for you guys real quick. An L cut is where you guys would actually have the audio. Let's unlink these. And that's where you would actually have the audio overlapping this. And now you can actually come into here and you could get as fancy with this as you want with some keyframes. But normally what you would want to do is keyframe this in. So now, as the audio plays,
Also want to talk.
let me zoom out so you guys can see what's happening. So now as the audio plays,
Vlogmas. Also want to talk to you guys about
you
the
can hear
couple
it
of
sounds a lot
editing tricks.
smoother than that obvious cut. So those are just two really quick ways. Now you can play with this a little bit more to get it sounding a lot better, to get that cut sounding a lot better. But this is just a really quick example just to kind of show you guys the possibilities and what you guys can do with that quick little editing technique. So let me go back to this main scene real quick. So yeah, that's just one quick little editing technique to help you guys with those audio transitions and help you guys with those cuts. So but yeah, if you guys have any other questions or anything at all, definitely leave them in the comments down below, and we'll do another one of these live streams over Vlogmas, because I definitely want to give you guys a little bit more value. I want to kind of gauge the community, kind of see what you guys are looking for as far as tutorials and stuff like that, because I think I have a lot of information that I can kind of share with you. I think after Vlogmas is when I'm really going to be able to sit down and work on a really solid tutorial. And I think I'm going to make that my goal next year, is to every week or maybe every other week have a really, really good tutorial for you guys. That way that, you know, a really good high quality tutorial that walks you guys through how to do something from start to finish, whether it's an editing trick or whether it's how to create sales for your business, or how to find new clients, or how to build those clients. But yeah, I really want to get more into business and more into the services that I offer, and teaching you guys how I do that. That way you guys can figure out how to, you know, work some of those tips and tricks into your guys' workflow, so that you guys can become better creators. And obviously I'm going to learn from that as well, because you guys know how YouTube is. Everybody has tons of knowledge around here, and it's always shared in the comment section. So let's see. Wow, those tips will be a game changer. Thank you, James. God bless you, brother. Thank you. And when you record with your Sony ZV-1, do you use mic or just the mic from the camera? Now, I have used the mic from the camera a bunch of times for a lot of different things, but I do notice that it picks up a lot more of the ambient sound. Now, I do actually like that. Like, if I'm in the car, I think it sounds nice. If I'm out and about walking around and there's like some cool stuff happening, a lot of times I do actually like that, a lot of that ambient noise. And for the vlogging style, I think that is a really good style. But if you guys are actually in front of the camera, looking at the camera, you're not out and about showing people stuff, that's where I think something more like this Ceremonic mic is going to come in. And I use this tiny little Ceremonic mic. I know I have manual focus on right now, but I use this super little Ceremonic mic. I'll try to link it down in the description, but this is what I primarily use now, and I only got this a couple days ago. Before this, I was using the Rode Pod, the original Rode video mic. It's the Rode Video Micro, the super small one, and it has like the red shock mount and everything. That's the one that I typically was using up until a couple days ago, but I've been super impressed with this, and this is half the price of the Rode. And you literally can pop this into the side of your ZV-1, and then if you're behind the camera, you can point it at yourself, and if you're in front of the camera, you know, you can point it at yourself. So this thing works awesome, and you don't have to use up a hot shoe to use it. So yeah, this thing is a really sweet microphone. If I take this little wind muffy thing off of here, then you can see how small it is. But yeah, this thing, it's a really nice microphone, and I've been really impressed with it. in my two last vlogs, I only recorded using this microphone. So if you guys like the sound of that, the sound is really, really natural from the camera because I didn't do a lot of audio processing on those videos. So if you guys like the overall sound of those two videos, then this might be a microphone to look into. And like I said, it's only $25, and if you get it at Amazon, Best Buy, most of those other places, they have pretty good return policies. So if you end up not liking it, I'm sure you could return it and get your money back. But yeah, so yeah, I would definitely look into those two microphones. The other option though for microphones, let's see if I got them right here. The other option that I could recommend for microphones, highly recommend in fact, is just the Rode Wireless Go. I use this on client shoots all the time, and this little kit right here is phenomenal for the sound. In a pinch, I've used the built-in microphone, and just clipping it right there on the inside of somebody's shirt, that works phenomenally well. Another thing that you guys can do is if you see the receiver has a microphone in jack, just a normal 3.5, and I have these Rode these are from the Rode Live. I think it's just called the Rode Live, but this is from the Rode Link kit, which is their more expensive wireless system, and I think it's like a $400 system, and this is the microphone that comes with it. I actually use this microphone is about $100, but it's all the lapel, the wire of it is Kevlar, which is super strong. So I mean, this thing is not gonna burn. I mean, your client or you would have to really pull on that thing for it to break or whatever. So, but anyways, this is another phenomenal option for a microphone, and this you can hide inside your shirt if you want to use tape or something like that. You can also just use the clip and clip it onto your clothing, and then you can hide the receiver. You can just hide that on your belt or inside your pocket or wherever it fits. You can, if you're a girl, obviously you're a girl, but you guys could actually just clip this like right on your like bra strap or something like that. That's how a lot of my clients hide theirs. So yeah, this is an awesome option to use because it's really, really flexible, and you always get really good audio from the newer lapel mics. But yeah, and then but yeah, those are really my biggest audio solutions. I mean, if you guys are really trying to step up, your guys' audio game, then this is another option. This is the Rode NTG, the Rode Video Mic NTG, which uses a 3.5, so you can just use any 3.5 cable, and you can boom this. So you guys can boom this for like interview style recording, right above yourself, or you can use it as like an on-camera microphone. It's obviously way better if you guys can boom it just out of frame right above your head. But yeah, you can use this in a lot of different ways, and this microphone you can also use for live streaming and everything else. It actually plugs in through USB-C, and then you can use it for like whatever you guys want to use it for, live streaming. Yeah, just about anything. So yeah, that's another phenomenal option, and it's super flexible. The only thing is, if you guys are in like a noisy place, like a if your house is noisy, or like me personally, I film this is my basement, so right above me is like AC, and we have water running every once in a while. So for me, I need to have something more like a dynamic microphone. That way it doesn't pick up all that ambient noise and everything like that. And I have the Rodecaster Pro for a lot of my client work, client podcasts and stuff like that. So I just use this setup because I have it available to me. But yeah, so we definitely stepping it up. We have one. Okay. Mike that. So yeah, if you guys are looking to invest in microphones, this microphone that I'm using right now is actually only $100. This is the Rode Pod mic, which I was pretty impressed with the overall quality of it for only being $100 microphone. But yeah, so I could definitely recommend something like the Pod mic. I don't think you really got to spend more than $100 on a legit microphone. If you guys are looking for an on-camera microphone, probably the most you would need to spend is honestly around like $60 on something like the Rode Video mic, the Rode Video Micro. But I probably really would just recommend the $25 Ceramonic, the Rode Wireless Go. One of those two, I would probably stick with one of those two. And I think the Ceramonic is going to be more versatile, so I would get that first before you get something like a Rode Wireless Go. But we use one mic for both of us and need two. Let me see. We use one mic for both of us and need to purchase another one so we both can have. Okay, and now what kind of mic are you guys talking about? Are you guys talking about mics to plug into your camera, or are you guys using something like an external recorder? Because if you guys are using an external recorder, then yeah, the mic options, there's a ton of different mic options. I've really only looked into a lot of the more mainstream options, like Shure SMBs, even these like Rode Pod mics. Just because of the work I do, my clients expect a certain level of my clients expect me to spend a certain amount of money on the products that they use because they're paying a certain dollar, so they want to see quality. They want to be using quality products. So yeah, it's hard to bring certain budget items that may be great options, but I just don't have a lot of experience with them because a lot of my clients, when you walk in, they want to see Canon, they want to see Sony, they want to see Manfrotto, they like seeing that stuff. And that's one way that we're able to charge more is by having the quality gear and stuff like that. So we try to stick with a lot of the name brands, but there are tons of budget options out there. But I am not super familiar with those. The one thing that we've been using on live stream, placing an audio interface, other videos, and use a camera mic. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are using an audio interface, you guys are gonna have a ton of different options. I would more recommend, if you guys are using an audio interface, I would recommend something like a dynamic microphone. But yeah, these are awesome microphones, and there's tons of different ways that you guys can use them. Right now, I have mine on a big, huge, overhead boom. But you guys could even just use something like a desktop mic stand, or you can also use a drum stand. A kick drum you can use a kick drum mic stand, which is actually what I would probably use. And a kick drum mic stand looks like this. So the kick drum mic stands actually look like this, and they're really heavy, so you can hold like big heavy microphones, and they fit on your desk real nice, and they have these really long arms that you guys can like extend to whatever length that you guys need to actually talk on. So these are awesome, and I use these on for my client podcasts, as well as just your typical circle-based mics on like tabletop mic stands. So yeah, those two options for mic stands work really good. But yeah, you can use. There are a ton of different mic options out there. There's Audio Technica, Sennheiser, Rode, and I mean they all make awesome products. So you can there's so many different products as far as microphones out there, especially for just normal vocals or normal talking interview style mics. So I mean, yeah, the options are endless there. But yeah, so yeah, what works for me may or may not work for you, but yeah, honestly, for a lot of the gear that I use, it's really just all about trial and error because a lot of the stuff that's recommended online really doesn't work for me on set, and some of the stuff that is recommended to me online works for me on set, and a lot of what I do on set, I adapt to work here in my office for, the personal content that I create or family videos, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's as far as the how I pick my gear is probably a lot different than how somebody that owns a business and is just creating content for themselves, or somebody that is starting a business, create maybe like an online blog or something like that. They have a lot different equipment requirements than I would have. So yeah, the way I look at gear is a lot different than the way other people look at gear. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any other questions, kind of moving forward, I'm gonna keep up with the comments in this live stream or in this chat, and I'm gonna definitely address any other comments moving forward. So if you guys have anything that you guys want to ask me, shoot me a DM on Instagram at James D Buzzard. You guys can follow my page over on Facebook at James D Buzzard. So pretty much everything's at James D Buzzard. And if you guys have not already checked it out, then I would highly, highly encourage you to go over to my website at jamesdbuzzard.com, hit that shop tab, and then, check out the shop page because we have tons of awesome products for you guys. I have a lot of contracts. If you guys need contracts for your professional business, whether you guys are website professionals, whether you guys create videos for a living, or whether you guys are graphic professionals, we have a little bit of something for everybody. So if you guys need anything like that, we also have merchandise to have you guys looking the part, as well as assets to have you guys, as well as assets to help as well as assets to help streamline your guys' business. So if you guys need anything like that, head over to jamesdbuzzard.com, and I was